Okay, so a little bit of a mission here. I have this Avis 8345 with an interesting keyway, and the keyway looks like this. It is marked P1, and at first I wasn't too sure what I was going to do about figuring out what kind of key blank was going to work. Thankfully, Murray Johnson chimed in and shared a bit of knowledge, that bit of knowledge being that the DA key blank that you see before you will be up to the task, although some modifications to the key blank are going to be required. And so now that this little beastie is picked, we're going to disassemble the lock, grab one of these DA key blanks and shave it down to the point where it fits inside the plug. And once that's all done, fingers crossed, we can actually go ahead and cut that blank to make ourselves a working key for this quite cool cylinder. Quick note, Wafer City inside this lock. So I guess I'm going to be digging into my pinning kit and pulling out some other pins, but first up, this key. And so our plan is to take this key that almost wants to fit inside here, but it's just not going to, and take my fret leveling file, which is basically a perfectly flat metal bar, very fine diamond coating on it, and we're going to take this key and just go backwards and forwards on either side and thin it out very carefully and very evenly until we get to the point that it fits in the lock. Flip it over. And so after a number of minutes of carefully filing this back, no need to rush, just a little bit at a time, we find, lo and behold, that it fits snugly. Even though it's not perfectly cut to the warding, I think we're in with a shot. Most definitely. Okay, for good measure, what I've decided to do is file back here a little bit more to allow this key to fit more deeply into the plug and allow it to be a 6-pin key more easily. As I'll show you here, now with that extra cut, we can get very comfortably into the plug and give ourselves a very nice 6-pin key blank. Presto. We're on the home stretch. And one small additional minor modification, I've just taken a slight edge off here with the Dremel just to allow it to slip more easily by this bit of warding here. Not entirely necessary, but I'm a little anal like that. And so finally, after all of that, we're going to take this fine tipped marker and we're going to quickly mark out the center of the pins. And with that much done, I'm going to do a clean single and light stroke on each of those marks to make it more obvious as to where to file. I'm not going to dare to do that through the viewfinder. I'll get a little bit closer, but I'll come back afterwards. Filing. That's a little bit of finishing at the moment. And we have a dodgy but hopefully workable key. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so the pins are in and the key is in the plug and it looks okay enough, but I'm kind of just going to keep my fingers crossed simply because it's not the exact key for this plug, so I guess there's always going to be a little bit of give and take with these things. Hopefully though it's close enough to do the job, but I guess we'll see. Okay, plug back together. And the key works. So I'm happy enough with that. It gets this lock working again at least anyway. Let's put the rest of it back together. Okay, so after a bit of fussing about, here we have our lock. Here we have our key. Key goes in. Pop. Beautiful. Works just fine. So there we have it. Big thanks to Murray Johnson. You rule. Peace and respect to you all. I'm out of here. Bye for now.